All right, hey guys, so today we're just gonna go over the basics of starting a chainsaw. You know, we do it every morning during our morning truck checks, but we're gonna go over some of the basics and how to properly start a chainsaw. So, first what we want to do is we definitely want to get out our chainsaw, and we want to make sure that we have all of our appropriate equipment and PPE with us. As shown over here, we want to make sure that we have our helmet, make sure we have gloves, eye protection, ear protection, and then all the necessary tools and equipment to start.
What we'll do is we'll check our chain brake, check our chainsaw. Is our chainsaw clean or dirty? That's number one. If it's super dirty, just take it off the truck, clean it. Is my cover falling off? Is my chain falling off before I even mess with anything? So obviously using your chain brake, getting a pair of gloves. If you are gonna touch the chain, yeah, your hearing protection. So either you can use your earmuffs from the truck, or use those. Check your fuel and your oil. Make sure you're topped off on both. If you need to, have more oil than fuel, because we'd rather run out of fuel than have our bar seize on us when we're on a roof. Come, push our decompressor, hit our safety and our trigger, push it all the way down to the choke, pull it until you hear it trying to run. Once it tries to run, flip it up to half choke or choke off, and then pull it till it runs. So, like I said, safety, trigger, push this all the way down. We just kind of started it and ran it, so it's hot right now, but usually when it's cold, you would, how I do it, put your foot here, press down with your hand on this, make sure your chain brake is on in case anything weird happens. Pull this until you hear it trying to start, then that's your go ahead to flip this up and then start it. And then once it runs, flip it off, make sure your chain brake's on, and then flip it about 10 to 15 times. Don't full throttle it unless you're trying to be like me and you want to practice cutting a hole in the roof. So the different ways you can let it run is you can let it sit and idle for a minute, or you can blip the throttle 10 to 15 times, not full throttle blips, just like half throttles right here. And then make sure you're obviously wearing all your appropriate PPE when you do have the chain go. There's a bar tensioner adjustment screw on here, and then there's also an oil adjuster screw on here too as well. So what you do is you take your scrunch, which is tool for your chainsaw. It's a socket wrench with a screwdriver. And then if you want more or less, you just kind of stick it in there, go right or left, whichever one. And then for your bar tensioner, your chain looks like this. This is super loose. This is a very improper way of doing it. Obviously, make sure you have your PPE on if you are messing with the chain, at least a pair of work gloves or something. Loosen these up. If you do see the chain like this is a huge problem. And so what we do is loosen these two nuts right here. You see how we got some play in the bar? That's what we want, because when we go to tighten it, we're going to take the tip of the bar and just push it up or pull it up, which then takes the play out of the bar. And then when you tighten it with your scrunch with your screwdriver, you'll see these teeth come to the bar. When this chain completely comes to that bar, that's when you stop tightening it, and you should have the right tensioner. Obviously double check after. And now tighten your nuts, dude. Yeah, not super tight, just hand tight. You don't have to crank it. Okay. Just enough to where we know it's not gonna fall off. And then after, take your chain brake off, move it back and forth. Does it feel super tight? Does it feel super loose? And then you can just pull up. Do you see a single tooth coming out or not?